Hey, I'm Mae Craddock, and I am a librarian in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I'm here with my friend Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie Preddy, and I'm a librarian in Indiana. How are you doing, Mae?
I'm doing great. How's the weather in Indiana?
It has been raining for 3 days.
It has here too. I need to get out of this house. And you know who else needs to get out of this house? My kid. Do you have anything that can help us get out of the house? What about epic tic-tac-toe? Let's do it.
Anything with epic in the name is worth trying. Okay, so you have a 9-year-old. Well, my kids are older, and there's a different kind of tic-tac-toe that is very strategic, and it's really hard, and it's good for older teenagers and adults. So I think between yours for younger and mine, we are gonna have a good day.
Awesome, let's get to it.
See you soon.
One of the ways you can make board games bigger and socially distant is just by making them huge.
Good job, X. Looks like you won this time. For this next game, all you're going to need is a paper and some markers. All played path games like Candyland or Life, but what if we took it outside and made it much, much bigger? So grab your markers and your pens and let's start here. Your next step is going to be to make your stops on your path. Kids love making these, and you can base them on any familiar story or something that they're reading. Kids love making these themselves. For older kids, you can base them on classical literature and maybe make them do a little math.
Now you head outside. You can lay your cards down in any kind of crazy path you want outside and make it harder by shuffling the deck and changing the path.
Have a great time and let us know how it goes.
I'm going to show you how to play Gamer's Tic-Tac-Toe. It starts out with that same grid, but then inside each section you put another tic-tac-toe board. So you'll end up having 9 tic-tac-toe boards in a 3x3 grid. So the way that this game is played, it works very similar. You still are going to use X's and you're going to use O's. Only now you have a little bit of decision in where your opponent is going to have to play. So let me show you how this works. Let's say I'm the first player. I'm going to place an X and I can put it in any of the smaller sections that I wish. So let's say I place my X right here. Now my goal is ultimately to try and turn this entire section into an X by completing 3 going across that row, getting 3 in a column, or by getting 3 diagonal, just like we usually would when we play tic-tac-toe. Now though, I've placed this X. This tells my opponent which of these sections they will have to play. So because I placed my first X in this upper left corner, that tells my opponent they must place their O somewhere in this region for them to start to try and win. So let's say they choose to take this center space and they'll put an O in this spot. Well, that now it goes back to my turn, and I have to place an X because they placed in the center spot. I have to place somewhere in this center grid, knowing that wherever I place it, my opponent will be placing in that section. So if I place my X right here, then my opponent will need to place up here. So let's say they choose and they play here. Now they've played there. That is in the middle row in the last column. That tells me, well, I can play in this section again. I'm going to go ahead and place an X there, trying to make 3 in a row. That tells my opponent they must place in that center section, and maybe they want to go ahead and claim that middle spot. So now I, as the X player, I have to place in one of these parts. All right, Well, let's see if I can, I don't know. I'm going to put my X here. So now my opponent looking at this, maybe they decide to ultimately go here. That would then allow me to place in this spot, and I've got 3 in a row. So that now means this entire section represents an X. So my goal is to get 3 sections in a row, in a column, or in a diagonal to be claimed with my letter. If at a later time my opponent plays here and would force me to place in this section, you can then place anywhere you wish in an available spot. That goes for you or your opponent. Anytime you would be forced to play in an already claimed sector, you can play anywhere. That really adds to the strategic aspect, but boy, wouldn't it be nice if you're playing against an opponent and you're able to go ahead and score that strategic victory.